Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 6. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. And me reading that scripture was just going into how this wicked man, Esau Edom, is being revealed in this time right now through the spirit of the Lord's mouth, which is his prophets. Because as you can see right here, the title for the article that the brother just posted a little while ago, it says, this was where is it? Oh, on May 20th of this year. It says, Stanford says butchering and harvesting blood and organs from children can help adults achieve immortality. And these are the same things that, whether you're in the truth or if you're out the truth, people know that the Illuminati do these sacrifices and things like that. They know that they harvest organs and do all these wicked things with them. But the scriptures actually speak about that. The scriptures speak about the wicked doing these things, because these are nothing new. These practices and these wicked practices go all the way back to the land of Canaan. Things that the Canaanites were doing in the land of Israel before Israel took over that land. Since I mentioned that, I'll actually get that. So this is Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter, and I'm going to start at verse 3. And when you go into this chapter, King Solomon is going into basically how the Lord gave, in these first couple of verses, how the Lord gave us the land and how the Lord set us up, sent us out before getting the land of Canaan. We had to, which became the land of Israel, we had to go off and kill those Canaanites that were living in the lands, the Girgashites, the Hivites, the Perizzites, the Perizzites, and all that. So we had to kill them, cleanse the land by killing them and pushing them out of the land because they were doing wicked things like this. It says, Wisdom of Psalm chapter 12, verse 3. For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh and feast of blood. So that's the same thing that you're seeing right here in this article is the same thing that happened back then when in the land of Canaan, man. America is adopted all the practices and all the wickedness of these old empires and these old ancient civilizations that were once were up and flourishing at one time. That's why it's called Babylon. That's why it's likened unto it's called Babylon for confusion. It's called Sodom and Egypt. Egypt for us being in captivity here, and Sodom. I don't think I need to explain, seeing as how it's their month. If you know what I mean, it's their month this month. So I think you know why America is known as Sodom. I don't think I need to explain that, right? So let me read that again. It says, verse 4, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 4. Whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft. Odious. That goes back to an odor, meaning that this work is something that's, like, you know how you smell something bad, something terrible? That's how the Most High looks at it. This is like just something just so terrible. It's like, why would you people do these things? But this is what the Canaanites were doing in the land at the time. And that's what Esau Edom is doing in today. Right? Whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices. And this is a wicked sacrifice, man. They're going to sacrifice people's kids. That's why it tells you, Lord's when I get that precept, if I remember, in Micah 2 and 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. How could you have kids here when these people is talking about, and matter of fact, this is Stanford. This is a college. This is a college, dog. Saying they want to sacrifice, it's a good thing. It can help. Man, these people are showing themselves that they're the wicked. Matter of fact, since I didn't want to bring out all these precepts, I want to read some of the article. But since I'm quoting these precepts, I'll bring it out that they're just showing who they are. Where is it? Oh, okay. This is Psalm 64:8. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right. So they're making their tongues to fall upon themselves because at one point they were trying to hide these things, keep these things under wrap, keep these things under lock to where they don't do these things. But what they're trying to do is damage control. Okay, so seeing as how the prophets of the Lord have brought out our dirty laundry, well, we got to make these things normalized now. Because what? They're pedophiles and things like that. Most of these celebrities and most in the top banking families, they're pedophiles. They touch people's kids. They do things to other people's kids. They take people's kids. So what do they have to do? They have to make things normal now. So that way it doesn't seem weird. So that way they can still continue to do their wickedness and you can't speak out on it because they've normalized it now for society. So if you speak out against it, oh, you're hate, you're hate. But no, this is wickedness, man. The hell you want to take people's kids and then sit there and say it can help immortality? But that shows you that he's trying to be like the Most High. He wants to achieve his pseudo immortality, but you're not going to get it. The Most High said, He has appointed your bounds that you cannot pass. Your kingdom does not keep going. Your kingdom doesn't lead with you having immortality. Your kingdom, and hold on, 1 second. Salakia. But yeah, your kingdom does not continue with you doing all this wickedness. Your kingdom ends with you going down. Salakia for the interruption. Right? So let's read through some of this. Hopefully this doesn't act a little laggy. It says, children who successfully make it out of the womb can still be slaughtered after birth for the benefit of the wealthy and the elite, who are reportedly trying to achieve immortality by consuming the blood and body parts of young people. Stanford University researchers say that life extension can be as simple as harvesting the vital organs of kids and implanting them into old people who want to live forever, Salakia, rather than die as part of the normal life cycle, right? Trying to get that pseudo immortality shows you that he doesn't care about the Most High, showing that he's not for Yahweh Bashem Ashah. Right? Continuing, Salakia. It says, according to Stanford researchers, cultures throughout time have revered the young for their ability to be exploited on behalf of the elderly. With today's technology, this can mean harvesting the life essence of young people and transferring it to old people. They tested this recently by infusing cerebrospinal fluid. I hope I'm saying it right. Let me say that word one more time. Yeah, that looks like Cerebro from X-Men, so yeah, I think that's Cerebro. Yeah, cerebrospinal fluid of young mice into old mice, which in turn improves brain function of the latter. Now they want to do the same thing with human babies and children. The Stanford team infused fluid from a 10-week-old mice into the brain of 18-month-old mice over 7 days and found that the older mice were better at remembering to associate a small electric shock with a noise and flashing light. And that also brings out another precept now. Let me see if I can find it. Is this the same chapter? Yep. So it shows you that these people are working on things to what? To have their pseudo immortality. This is the same chapter, Psalm 64 and 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So they do deep searches on how to, because they know the Most High can give you immortality, but they're not trying to go the route of Yahweh Bashem Ashah. So therefore, they're doing diligent searches to try and find a fake way to get immortality because they think if they get that, they'll be able to have the blessing. But they won't be able to have that because it's not written for them to have that. Immortality is only written for the Israelites. And that shows you that these people are not about the Most High at all. But vocab Malone keeps coming against us. Here it is, these people are trying to get immortality, but it says that, I'm just going to use the name, but just verbatim, it doesn't the scripture say if you believe in Jesus Christ, you'll get immortality? So why is these people trying to do this thing by harvesting organs? But this man will bother us and sit there and say we're the worst thing on earth. But why is it that you don't speak against your government? Because you're working for the elites. And even if you're not working for elites, you're just some loser that's just, you're obsessed with Israelites. That's all I can say. You're an Israelite fanboy now. Says closer examination showed the fluid had woken up processes which regenerate neurons and myelin, the fatty material that protects nerve cells with the hippocampus, the memory center of the brain. It says a published study outlining this research explains that the future of anti-aging medicine will involve the use of children and babies, which, if you know, for you women out there, I've said that a couple of times in my videos. Uh, some of your beauty products have fetus in it. They've used, babies to create lipstick, and some of your healthcare products. If you just do a, it's like the scriptures say, they do a diligent search. Well, if you do a diligent search, you'll find out that they do use dead babies in your lipstick. So when you're smearing your lipstick on, hope you know it, you're smearing dead baby on your lips. Let me read that again. A published study outlining this research explains that the future of anti-aging medicine will involve the use of children and babies whose body parts and blood can help adults live longer. Experiments that have already been conducted reportedly show that young blood itself can reverse the aging process, perhaps even curing Alzheimer's disease. Now, you see, they have to do this to make it seem like, you see, it could cure Alzheimer's, right? So they have to make it seem like, oh, well, this is a good thing. This can help out people who have Alzheimer's. Let's keep funding this research because look at the good that it could probably do. But really, this is just for the elites. They just want to see if they can get obtain immortality. You regular people, this is not for you, and you don't want this to be for you anyways. But this is really for them because they want to live forever. They want to keep the world in perpetual darkness. This is not about the betterment of the world. This is all about them staying in power and having the world in darkness forever. The Telegraph calls this process the Ute transplants, claiming it can really slow down the aging process. The fountain of youth, it seems, is youth itself. See? So it's not about searching after Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. This world is not about that. And the churches definitely don't tell these things. We tell you that what? Through faith and belief in Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, the Israelites, it will begin with the elect, that we will be given what? A new bodies, we'll be given a new mind, a new spirit, to where the laws will be put in our inward parts, and that way we'll never go off and we'll never sin. Because the wages of sin is death. So if you keep sinning, your reward is going to be death. But this man can't. Matter of fact, I had that precept. Why didn't I bring that up? There we go. All right. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Because the wages of sin is death. So if you keep sinning, you'll never get immortality. Because it tells you in Wisdom of Solomon as well, I believe the 2nd chapter, that the Most High made man to be an image of himself, which is immortality. So if you stop sinning, Esau, you'll get the immortality. But you're the man of sin. You can't stop sinning. So therefore, you're trying to find a pseudo way. You're trying to keep sinning and also be immortal. And it doesn't work like that. Give me 1 second. You got to do things through the Most High. You can't do things through your own way. Okay, no, I didn't. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and 4. Just going to get this little quick point right here. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. So it's not upright. So that way he can't do right. He can only do wickedness. And he knows that. So since he can only do wickedness, he has to find a fake way to get immortality because he can't do righteousness, because righteousness leads to immortality. But since he can't do righteousness, he's not upright within himself, his soul. So now he has to what? I have to find a fake way to get immortality and keep sinning. Because he's not about getting right. Because he can't get right. He's not made to be that way. It says, historically, cultures have revered the blood of the young, further tweeted. So you see, It says history, so they know about the history of the past, of the ancient civilizations, like the land of Mesopotamia, Canaan, what they used to do back then. So Esau has the information. Like the scripture said, I brought on Psalm 64. He does a diligent search. The heart is deep. So they're finding stuff out from the past and trying to modernize it. So that way they then try to uh, get a pseudo immortality. So that way they can live forever. But it don't work out like that, man. It's not written that way. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that precept, seeing as I've been quoting it. Right, here we go. This is Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So Esau thinks if he gets, this pseudo immortality, he'll get to keep his kingdom and he'll keep going. But the Most High has set up the bounds that you can't pass. You're not going to get a day longer or a year longer. When that day happens, when your kingdom is going to go down and you're going to go down, that's it. No immortality, no riding out into sunshine. That's it. That's over for you. So, Lord's willing, I also remember to put this into the description box. So if anybody wants to read it, they can read it themselves. Salaki, I haven't been doing that a couple times. I forgot, but Lord's willing, I'll go back for some of those older videos and put the articles in there as well. Lord's willing, I could find them. But matter of fact, I want to let me see. Is there any other precept? Yeah, I want to end off with this before I go, since I quoted it earlier. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. How can this place be our rest when these people want to take up people's kids and harvest their organs? How can you rest knowing that? How can your mind be at ease? It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction. So, pray that this video was edifying. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, Shalom.